From lush oak-covered canyons to tide pools teeming with life, the Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area offers residents and visitors of the Los Angeles area over 500 miles of recreational trails and 47 miles of beaches. Forget Hollywood, this is LA's greatest resource. Hello again, I'm Lori Fernand, and welcome to Trail Masters, your video user's guide to the great outdoors. A day at the beach with family and friends can be a relaxing break from the hustle and bustle of the city. An easy and inexpensive way to enjoy the simpler pleasures of life. Today we are at beautiful Leo Carrillo State Beach with Kristen Perry, a park interpreter with California State Parks, to explore the many unique creatures of the tide pools. Leo Carrillo State Park is easy to find on Pacific Coast Highway, 10 miles north of Malibu at the intersection of PCH and Mulholland Highway. Day use and campsite fees are nominal, starting at $4. The park gate is locked from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Campground reservations are available online at reserveamerica.com or call 800-444-PARK. Also on today's program, we'll meet Cody Chappell with Tree People, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping nature heal our cities by offering sustainable solutions to urban ecosystem problems. With over 15,000 members, 2,000 volunteers, and 40 full-time and part-time staff, Tree People is one of the largest independent environmental organizations in California. Tree People is located at Coldwater Park at the intersection of Coldwater Canyon, Franklin Canyon, and Mulholland Drive. Since 2002, Tree People staff have been working out of 7 all-weather yurts, a modern adaptation of ancient shelters used by Central Asian nomads for centuries. These yurts have become a visual treat for all park visitors. This is one of my favorite beaches. We've been camping here for years.
You guys have come to Leo Carrillo during a really special time. It's a low tide. We can see all of the rocks here. In a few hours though, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be high tide. It's gonna be covered over again with water. So these creatures can live both inside and outside of the water. We already found one here. We have a sea star. Do you guys know anything about sea stars at all? No? How do they eat? They have to eat, right? You guys all eat. Well, they have actually a stomach that comes outside of their bodies, right? All they need to do is open up a muscle. They have these little tubular feet. Open up a muscle just a tiny bit, like a 1/100th of an inch. You know what they do? They take their stomach, they put it outside their bodies, it goes inside that little crack, and then it goes into the muscle and then turns the muscle into a gooey mess. Eats that muscle and then brings it back to its body. So sea stars are pretty cool creatures. And that's one we'll see today. But it's really important while we're on this hike, first of all, to make sure that we're not touching the animals, because a lot of the animals are very sensitive, right? They're very sensitive and they're actually kind of fragile. We want to make sure we're protecting them the whole time.
Oh, I saw that same sea star over there.
Yeah, I think this one's been moved off the rocks, unfortunately. Really important not to move them off the rocks because they may get their feet ripped off.
Isn't this the greatest? Whoa!
Have a seat, make some room for your teammates. Very good. What is this right here, you guys?
A
All right, treasure, do we keep it or throw it away?
Keep it.
We keep treasure. Treasure could be a lot of different things, but treasure, the main rule with treasure is it's something that you keep. This may not look like treasure to you, but let's take a look here. What kind of bottle is this? Glass. Glass is made from something in nature. What is it? Who can tell me? Trevor, what?
Sand.
Sand. If I use up all the sand in the world, can I break up the glass and spread it next to the ocean? That's a terrible beach. They'll probably kick me off the planet for doing that. Now let me see. Here is some paper. What is paper made of? Yes.
Trees.
Trees. Will this ever be a tree again?
No.
Will this ever make oxygen again?
No.
Be a home to bald eagles? I don't think so. Now let me see here. What else do we have in here? Oh, a can. Anybody know what kind of can, what this metal is called, Ethan?
Aluminum.
Aluminum. That's right. Now I can think of 3 words that help us keep garbage out of the canyon. Hang on. Listen to the question. 2 of the words help, but only 1 of the words can eliminate garbage from human history. All 3 words start with the letter R-E. All of them end with the letter E. 2 of them rhyme, but only 1 is the answer. The other 2 help, but only 1 is the answer. Haley, what do you think?
Reduce.
Haley, that is the exact answer. That's the best one. Here we go, pound me, shabing. Yeah, reducing is the only thing that can eliminate garbage from our planet forever. What are the other 2 words though?
Reuse.
Reusing. And Stephanie?
Recycle.
Recycling.
Yes.
That's right. If I have one of these, do I need this?
No.
If I have one of these, do I need this?
No.
If I have one of these, do I need this?
No.
Look at that. I bought 1 bottle. Do I have to buy another one tomorrow? And another one tomorrow? And another one tomorrow?
Reusable.
That's right, it's reusable. This is treasure because I keep it and I use it again, okay? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to raise a fist, tall, defiant, and proud. And in here, I have a treasure ring for your team.
What the?
Now, some people say there's trash in that ring. No.
Yes.
No, no, no. There are mountains, there are beaches, there are forests, there is oil in there, all that good stuff that we find in our planet. So here we go. Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Huzzah! Here we go. Mrs. McNutt, ring number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to take you up to the cage where we keep all the babies locked up.
All right, I was wondering, who is Leo Carrillo?
A lot of people ask that question. Leo Carrillo was an actor and comedian, mainly in the 20s through the 60s. He was on vaudeville, Broadway, television. You might have even known one of his series. He was in The Cisco Kid.
I've heard
Leo
of the
Carrillo
Cisco
played
Kid.
Pancho in The Cisco Kid. But mainly he had a park named after him because he was very fundamental in actually preserving a lot of open space here from Malibu Lagoon to Point Mugu State Park. His great-grandfather was the last governor under Mexican rule of California. And his family, for a while, after generations, were involved in preserving parklands and open space.
Wow, what foresight on their part, because this was quite some time ago that they were looking to preserve this land.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so now you know.
I do too. Thanks.
So what do you guys see over here? Are they rocks? Are they plants? Are they animals? They're mussels, right? And barnacles and limpets. Who knows what a mussel is? These black things here, right? But what else is here? What are these little things? Barnacles. I like to call them the hitchhikers of the sea. They'll also cement themselves to piers and boats and even whales, right? Imagine being a barnacle on a whale. There's also these little creatures here called limpets. Do you guys all see these little limpets here? These are limpets. They look kind of like rocks. It's actually a little snail and it's got 2 eyeballs. It moves around, and you know what? It has like a little homing spot. It's like a little hole in the rock, and nobody knows how they do it. It's kind of a mystery, but after they've traveled from their little spot in the rock, they always find their way back. So lots of life here, just on this little rock alone. Barnacles, limpets, and mussels. What else is on this rock, you guys? Are those more rocks?
No.
What are those things?
Sea anemones. When they touch it,
Sea anemones.
They sport out water.
Well, sea anemones do that. See, they're covered with shells right here. Well, when the water goes over them, what happens? They look like little flowers, right? It's really important. I know it's really tempting to put your fingers in them, but if we want to help protect them, they need all that stinging juice that they can get, because when we put our fingers in there, they'll sting our fingers even though we can't feel it, and they might not have enough stinging power to eat later on. So it's always really important just to kind of watch what's going on in the tide pools. This is one of my favorite rocks in the whole park. There's so much life on here. You have so many sea anemones and barnacles.
How high does the water usually get here?
Mm-hmm. You can, yeah.
Does it go up over this rock or no? It's not.
Probably not up and over,
Okay.
no. I think someone spotted a crab over there. The crabs here are pretty neat little creatures. They're basically shore crabs that go around, and they kind of are like scavengers. They kind of crawl around the rocks looking for things to eat. It's always good to make sure we're not touching though, and only looking, because this guy here is a little scared. See his pincers that he's got? You guys have seen big ones, right? You might have even eaten them before. One in there. That's the way he's protecting himself.
This is our chance to earn our second ring, our tree ring. Raise your hand if you can tell me why trees are important or something cool they do. All the grown-ups say, I like trees because they stand still and be quiet their whole life. But what do they do that's cooler than that? Yes?
They give us oxygen.
Oxygen. We need it. What else do trees do that's so cool? Alex L.
The kind of air that we breathe out, well, we give that air to the trees, and that air is called carbon dioxide.
Very good, very good. And Alex, what kind of air do the trees give back to us?
Oxygen.
Thank you very much. Does anybody here want to plant your own tree to take home today? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna plant trees that will clean the air. They'll suck smoke out of the air so you don't have to breathe it. They'll give you fresh oxygen. They'll make a place to climb, a home for animals, shade. Everyone's gonna get a tube like this. When you get that tube, I want you to fill it to the top with soil. Don't worry, this is nice, clean dirt. You're gonna take this dirt, fill it up to the top. Is there room for a seed? No. Then you gotta put your hand on top and tap it 10 times. Now, it's not full anymore. There's the perfect amount of room in there for my tree seed. I will bring you a seed. I will put it in there, or you'll put it in there. And then we'll cover it with more dirt so it has plenty to eat and stays nice and warm. And guess what? Taking care of it is even easier than planting it. When you get home today, I want you to find a nice jar or a cup, okay? Make sure it's clean and dry. Never, ever put water in your cup. Water is gonna go in your tube. So when you get home, find this cup, because babies have terrible balance, right? So we're gonna need something to help keep it standing up. Then when you get home, give it water. This is it. Psst, pretty hard, huh? Then you put it in the jar. How do you check it? The next day, take your pinky and poke the dirt. If the dirt is dry, what do? Water it. If the dirt is wet already from yesterday, do you have to water it again? No, you get the day off. This is what's going to happen one day. One day you're going to have a little octopus stick its tentacles out there and come and get you. This is a pignoli tree, and it's growing. It's a couple months old there. It's going to take a couple months, so be patient, all right? I tell you what, I think you earn a treasure ring, room 36. Here we go.
I hold it.
This one is full of seeds, isn't it? This one right here. Raise your fist. Let's activate this ring. Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Huzzah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna look for some lizards on our way down to the Los Angeles River. We've got to get down to the LA River, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Right. Why did you become a ranger?
I became a park interpreter. I've been working for the Park Service because I had a dream one day.
Really?
That
Okay.
I was working for the Park Service, and at the time I graduated from Pepperdine. I had a degree in English literature, and I was working as a manager. Had no real experience out in the parks. I was a city girl, and had a dream one night that I was in a park with lots of different trails, and I joined a group on a hike, and a rope closed behind me, and I started walking up these wooden stairs, and didn't really know what the dream meant the next day, but did see an advertisement for park aids at Leo Carrillo State Park at here.
The next
So
day.
the next day, went and applied, and then when I went to apply, I was walking up the wooden stairs to put in my application. So I knew that I was on the right track somewhere.
That's just great, because one of the things we want kids coming away with from Trail Masters is you can follow your passion and have a career. Being outside, protecting the environment,
That's right.
working in just these amazing locations.
That's right.
So, what a great story. My gosh, that's incredible.
I feel lucky to have had that dream.
Exactly. Thanks for that. You know, you don't have to do anything down at the beach. All you have to do is bring the kids down here, and they're going to run and, you know, pick up shells or driftwood and dig with it. It's just incredible because, you know, just look at these guys. They just are totally content.
This is a beautiful park. It's a beautiful beach, and it's true. There's so many different rock formations that the kids are just fascinated with. You know, not to mention all the intertidal life. The whales are migrating right now.
Really? Have you been
Uh-huh.
seeing whales then?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
they're on their path from pretty much from Cabo San Lucas area.
Okay.
They're heading up north towards the Bering Strait to feed. Right now they're coming, the mothers are coming with their young calves. So that's when they're coming and kind of hugging the shoreline. They're kind of staying away from more predators out there. So
Okay.
you'll be able to see them fairly close. Probably starting in January, it depends, and then through April. What do you guys think of the cave? It's pretty cool, huh?
Did you go all the way through?
Oh yes, it's kind of crunchy right now.
How's it on your feet, Sean? So how many kids do you bring through every year?
Every year, tens of thousands. I think we tried to do 80,000 last year.
Wow.
I'm not sure. It's hard to keep track.
A lot